Welcome back to Boozie Reviews, where I'll be reviewing the first episode of Drag Race UK Season 2. I enjoyed the first season of Drag Race UK. It's a lot different than the US version, but I enjoyed that it was like a different flavor of Drag Race. Also, a lot of people have been saying the first episode of Season 2 is actually really good. I know it's because of the BBC's rules, but it always seems funny that Canada winner got 100,000, the US winner gets 100,000, but the UK winner only gets an all-expense-paid trip to Hollywood in a digital series. But it's a trip during a pandemic. Okay. I liked his Meet the Queens look, but I do not like this look. I mean, to be fair, the colors are the exact same with the workroom, so technically he could probably camouflage himself, but I'm sorry, this is not a good look. Are you sure he's 23? Is this like with Elliot, who said she's been doing drag for 12 years, but she's only 26? And I'm like, so she started 14? He kind of looks like a cross between 23 and 53. It's just as a boy, he looks like definitely he's 23, but he also reminds me of like those mid-50s waitresses that work in like greasy spoon restaurants. It's like a mix.
I am the Susan Boyle of RuPaul's Drag Race UK.
Oh my god, he actually does kind of remind me of Susan Boyle. Is that mean to say? That's shady, because that's happened to other drag queens on other seasons on the US Drag Race, and they've edited it out. That apparently happened to Sharon Needles, where she was wearing a witch's hat, and it got knocked off her head, so they refilmed it. I like her look. It's kind of like vampire, but Spanish at the same time. I like it. I like the black and red, and the hearts, and the blood, the fake blood. I mean, this look is simple, but it actually works. I like it actually better than the look he had in Meet the Queens. I like the hair, the dress, the sparkly shoes that look like socks. Are those? But damn, is it? I mean, he's tall, but he's also really thin. Wow. I'm not really surprised what Tia Coffee looks like out of drag as a boy, because I did see his picture on Twitter, and it doesn't look too far removed from what he looks like as in drag. I mean, he doesn't look that much different outside of drag, but I was not expecting. Okay, it's another one of those, he could be 26, but he could also be 56. I think it's the eyebrows that are missing that is doing it to me, and the haircut. I'll start with the stuff I do like. I like the lemon wedge purse, and technically this look is better than the one she had in Meet the Queens. So I'll give her that. But other than that, I hate it. Oh my god, I just realized that Bimini Bamboo Lash and Janie Lamb had the same color hair. And they look like they did each other's hair. That would actually explain a lot. Actually, I kind of like this. I don't like the little cutout in the front of the dress, but other than that, I kind of like it. He's actually surprisingly attractive, because so far they haven't really... So the drag look kind of took me... I don't know where to start with this. Okay, it's not a terrible look. I don't like the dress. And the thing on his face, I mean, it's meant to be a joke, but it's kind of like, what? I like the wig. I'll say that much for him. And him as a boy, all I can say is, look, I know it's a pandemic, but is everyone doing their own haircuts now? Like when you're gay, don't you know one hairstylist that you can both wear masks or something? Oh my gosh. So I like her eye makeup. I like what she's wearing. I like the wig. Now that I've noticed that lip liner, which must be lip liner because she doesn't have it in as a boy, it's just the dark lip liner just looks like a mustache on her. But I have a feeling it's just one of those things where she doesn't know what it looks like on TV, and it just reads differently on TV. But otherwise, I love what she's wearing. So Taste looks the most normal. I guess oh my god, I can't remember her name. the other Scottish queen. She probably looked the most normal. These two are the most normal looking right now. See, Tia Coffee looked normal. She was just styled very 80s. Although to be fair, Taste is styled very 90s, so. Actually, she does look like Gloria Swanson. I actually really like the look. It's very Sunset Boulevard. I wasn't sure what he's gonna look like as a boy, but I can't believe he's only 30. I have a hard time believing he's 30 though, especially since he was doing this for 13 years. I like what Veronica Green is wearing. It's kind of simple and not exactly wowing, but it looks good. Although I'm kind of disappointed that it's not green. But as a boy, I wasn't expecting like high school nerd. Just not what I was expecting. None of them are what I expect. I think the only one that really kind of didn't surprise me was Ginny Lemon kind of looked herself. Jill Black kind of looked like a boy version of herself. Oh, the other Scottish queen is Ellie Diamond. They're all new, so I kind of forget, even though I did Meet the Queens and said their name. I do like what Estina's wearing. It's very fashionable. And as a boy, it's not a big surprise. She looks fairly normal. Just not like some of them are just like, oh my god, they look so much not what I expected out of drag. So I do kind of like what she's wearing. It's kind of like if Dorothy from Wizard of Oz was a hooker, then that's what it would be. Oh my god, that's what a whore looks like as a guy.
My boy name is George, which in Spanish translates as Jorge, so Ahura.
Oh, and the Meet the Queens, when they said Ahura, I'm like, oh, like Ahura in Star Trek. But it's because his name is George, but Jorge in Spanish, so it's Jorge Ahura.
I've never met Ahura, but I've heard a lot about her. My mum always taught me if you haven't got anything nice to say...
Shady.
Hello, Governor.
Are we really gonna have another season of Ru and Michelle trying to do a British accent? See, I'll spare you all. I cannot do a British accent to save my life, so I won't subject you to that. But you know what this reminds me? There's been no pit crew on the US Drag Race yet. Unless I'm forgetting something. Like it's been 3 episodes. Maybe they thought Joey J going shirtless was enough. I have nothing much to say about what she's wearing, but it's actually better than her entrance look. She reminds me a bit of Naomi Smalls in this challenge, but I think it's because her and Naomi Smalls both kind of take Naomi Campbell as a reference, so it makes sense. I'm not sure I like the outfit, but it is for like a small challenge, mini challenge. I do like the colors though, the green and the pink. If she wasn't wearing the makeup and the hat, I wouldn't know she was drag queen by what she's wearing, just saying. The only good thing I can say about Ginny Lemon's outfit is it's not painful. I'll leave it at that. One thing I want to say is thank God for the Brit crew, because this is getting me through this part.
You know, you've got a target painted right on your face. In this case, aim for her face.
They actually did hit her in the face. I kind of like Ahura's look. It's very 80s.
Excited to see everyone getting out of drag. They all look quite different. Ginny looks the same, but everyone else looks quite different.
She's not lying. Ginny does look the same out of drag. Actually, I really like this outfit. It reminds me when they tried to do like those pride looks in one of those challenges, but this actually looks like the good version instead of like, you know, pride flag just puked on them. It's weird to think that Graham Norton is on Drag Race UK as a judge, and Tina Burner, who is his ex-boyfriend, is on season 13 of the US Drag Race. I don't know if I love it. I don't know how I feel. I just feel like, I just don't know if I like it. I like the concept, but I don't know if I like the hair, and it's like I like it and I hate it at the same time. I like Estina's look. It literally is Naomi Campbell realness. Okay, this isn't terrible. It does kind of look like Kate Bush, but I noticed she's wearing flats. I think she'll get red for that. Okay, I love Tia Coffee's look. I like the colors. At first I was like, what does it have to do with Alan Turing? But I noticed the binary code on it, so I get it. Honestly, I have no idea who that is, but I'll take their word for it. It's very punk. It looks good. It's kind of like Pete Burns, so I guess that's the same style look that this Princess Julia, was it her name? I can't remember what she was called anymore. Okay, I like this. I get it. I saw it on appeal as soon as I saw it. Actually, once again, I like it better than its entrance look. Okay, this is good. I remember this from the video, so it is actually very accurate. Because yes, back in the 80s, Freddie Mercury did drag in a video. Actually, all of Queen did drag in the video, but this is exactly what he looked like, almost. I like this, and actually growing up, I was a huge fan of Culture Club and Boy George. And actually, when I was a kid, I got my mom to help me put on makeup, just like Boy George. So yes, I did drag a long time ago. My brother made fun of me because I said, I don't care if people see me. I think I look great. And then he mocked me for it. I mean, this is when we were kids. And this was like a few years before I even came out. So I'm like, and my family was shocked when I came out. They're like, you're gay? And I'm like, you guys really didn't notice anything, did you? This is okay. Actually, I thought the Princess Julia look was actually more Vivienne Westwood from what I've seen from pictures. Okay, this is okay. I mean, I've heard Dusty Springfield, thanks to Pet Shop Boys. It is very 60s when she was famous, so. I've heard of Lily Savage, but I'm not exactly who she is. But I actually like the look, so. And Taste does look like Naomi Campbell. They both look like Naomi Campbell, but Taste was channeling Naomi Campbell anyways already. So that's a pretty easy one. Okay, I like Joe Black's look. It's very gold, very royal. It looks really good. Okay, I like this. It reminds me of something like the late 90s, early 2000s, I think, but in a good way. And of course, it's showing off legs, so I mean, I don't hate this. I mean, I don't like it, but I don't hate it, so. I'm trying to be as nice as possible. It's like legs, like legs. I guess if we got the legs, show them. I mean, this is a bit cosplay, but I still love it. I like the colors, I like the boots. And I know what she's going for. She's going for like a soccer shirt, but it's not doing much for me. It's not a terrible look. I mean, I'm sure people are saying it's great, but it just doesn't do much for me. Oh, I actually quite like this. Actually, I'm really impressed with Lawrence's look. That looks really good. Once again, better look than what he came in with. Maybe he just starts slow and then escalates. I don't mind this, but I don't get the makeup. Like, I get it, but it just seems kind of... But I do like the clock purse. And I like the sort of steampunk isms. I do like this. This is a beautiful dress. But I feel like that's kind of her signature, is wearing gowns. I don't think they'll go over very well. It's just gowns. Lovely gowns. I don't hate this because it's green, but I think that Tia Kofi did a better job doing kind of the same idea. I get the concept, but I like the colors, but I just don't like it as a whole. I quite like this, but she's like, oh, it's like Dennis the Menace, and I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like Freddy Krueger. Very Nightmare on Elm Street realness. I'm not sure how I feel about this. It actually looks good, but at the same time, I'm like, it's kind of costumey, but I'm conflicted. It's costumey, but I think it looks really good.
I said to everyone, I said I thought Estina and you was in the bottom. The only thing I'm basing it on was entrances.
Why would you think she would be in the bottom due to her entrance look that Ru didn't see? Shady, shady.
Lawrence Chaney.
Maybe he's a bit older.
You know, she's a child.
I was gonna say a bit older.
She's
Which one?
23.
Is she only 23?
See, I'm not the only one that's like, 23? Someone said she was eating chicken the right. Did she actually eat chicken? Did I just miss that? Or is that just a saying? So the girls in the US won $5,000 tip, and she wins a repeater badge. I agree, she did a good job, so I'm glad she won. Oh my God, I did not expect the bottom to be Bimini Bamboo Lash and Joe Black. You'd think Joe Black would have the edge with this song, seeing as how she's 30. I hate to admit it, but Bimini Bamboo Lash did actually do a better lip sync. But I think it was the dress that kind of hindered her, because what can you do in that dress? So I actually really enjoyed this episode. I know I say it about every episode that I'm watching, but I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoy all the episodes, so what can I say? But I do actually enjoy this more than the first season, because the first people that left were kind of obvious because they're little drag babies. It was Gothy Kendall and Kitty Meow. I can't remember the name. It's not they're bad, it's just they were new to drag, so it's obvious they're the ones gonna go home. But this one, like, Joe Black is like well known, and she went home first, but what can you do? They're all pretty seasoned drag queens in this one. I should say I was more impressed with the looks in this episode than I was in the US Drag Race. So looking forward to the rest of the season, and we'll see what happens. Also, another thing I liked about this is that someone actually got sent home, unlike US Drag Race. I think it was obvious it was filmed before the pandemic, or at least before the lockdown, because Michelle, her hair's dyed. She has no gray streak anymore. And everyone's acting really close. In fact, Bimini kissing Joe Black, I was like, oh, on the lips? In a pandemic? So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below what you thought of this episode. And as always, stay boozy and fabulous.